Okay, I had this idea, real quick. How do I put this? Let me start this. There's a lot in my mind about. I'm gonna put this into like a quick. I'm gonna put this into a quick section of this video, but I had like a lot of ideas for this. All right, you notice how when you see people on their phone and nobody like text uh what they thinking, they always like ask uh they got this movie coming out called Jixie or whatever. I never seen, I don't even want to watch the movie, but I'm like, when I seen the commercials on like YouTube and shit, you know how they give you free like all the commercials, they say whatever. But that movie come up when this guy is always talking to his phone, and it's like a female, but like on you have like Google, you gotta talk, you can talk to somebody, or an Apple, you talk to somebody, whatever. So now you think about it. Okay, now I can give you to the conspiratorial form, like, oh man, this nigga crazy, and I'm gonna give you the spiritual part. And he's like, oh, it makes sense, because what I'm saying spiritually, you can find it in books, and it's conspiratorial, you can probably find it in books, but people be like, oh, he just being conspiracy. I'm gonna go with the conspiratorial, since that's the third dimension, and motherfuckers that say, oh, what's unseen can't be true. Okay, I'm gonna go with the conspiratorial first. All right. So when you talking on your phone and you speaking into your phone, and you pretty much giving your DNA, your voice DNA, to a something you can't see, and it's logging in. So if it's logging in, anything you're saying, and it's coming out exactly how you said it. So imagine they can log your DNA into your phone and speak, and it'll speak how you speak, whatever. So they get enough of your hair or enough DNA from you, and they got your DNA in your voice already. Oh, all we gotta do is collect enough of this person's DNA and kill him, and then, but nobody will know that we killed him. So if we killed him and then we got his DNA, we can reproduce this person within like a day or a few hours. And so we do that in a day or a few hours, and reproduce them, and then make them do some kind of heinous act, like kill a cat passing by, a black cat. See, that's spiritual. Anyway, I'm back on the third dimension with this one. So if you think about it, so if they kill you, and then but nobody knows you're really dead, missing person or nothing like that. So they kill you, and but they using your DNA to have you shoot up a church, or shoot up a school, or shoot up a movie theater, and you looking crazy, your hair all different kind of colors and all this crazy shit, but that's not really you. They recreated you to create some kind of heinous act, but it was really somebody else doing. And so you got to think about it. If that DNA that you put in your voice, that you keep talking to your phone, you all right, that's something that they can really do. Okay, that's the physical aspect of it, right? But all right, let's think about it on the spiritual aspect. Now, people in Atlantis, they didn't speak. They spoke telepathy. That means speaking to a person through your mind. You know what I'm saying? So throughout life, here and there, you will see people, like when you see on the news, and they'll have people doing the sign language for vision, or for vision hearing impaired. They'll have you know how the voice be hearing impaired. They'll have the person at the bottom of the screen doing the sign language for the people that can't hear but they can see. So you got to think about it. If somebody's doing sign language, that's the closest thing to not talking. Even though you're using the lower part of your body, which is lowering yourself to use your hands, you're not speaking. You're actually using your hands controlled by your mind. But so like, if people in Atlantis, what if they use sign language too, also to get their point across what they were trying to speak. 420 just passed. That's Adolf Hitler's birthday. Just in case you didn't know, they'll tell you that it's Weed Day, but it's really Adolf Hitler's day. So, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's not a bad day anyway. It's not a bad person. Anyway, get back to what I was talking about. But so like, now, if you think about it, your mind, if you're not using your mind, if you're using your mind to speak with your hands, and you're not opening your mouth, but it's just a language, sign language with your hands, same thing. So like, if you're using your mouth to speak and to get what you're trying to get across, you actually lowering yourself to actually get what you want to get across. But if you actually was able to speak with your mind, you actually was able to speak with your mind without actually saying anything verbally out of your mouth. Now you actually using something, a language where no, like a lot of people don't understand or can't grasp it. You know what I'm saying? I seen something a couple of months ago where a person, I didn't realize this person knew sign language, but they are hard of hearing in one ear. So they was able to speak to this one person. I'm like, I didn't know you know how to new sign language. Said, yeah, that's why I'm hard of hearing in one ear. I had to learn sign language so that'll actually help me if I got into a jam or a problem, so I can speak to some people. I'm like, man, that's dope. But now think about it, I had a dream. Well, not a, I'm not gonna get into my dream, whatever. But so you think about it. It's like these monsters or whatever, they can't see, but they can hear, sonic hearing. So their hearing is their seeing. So whatever reflects off their hearing, sound waves bounces off walls or whatever is around. And if you're not and that through that sound, like with bats, melanin through they looked at as melanin. So if you see the Bacardi bottle, that's why they have the bats on there. That's in Bacardi is in Puerto Rico. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Then Puerto Rico has a lot of, little magic. I'll just say that, and I'm not even gonna get into it. But anyway, so you think about it now, sound waves. So like my in this dream or whatever. I'll just say this. I'm not even getting too much into it. They couldn't see. They didn't visually have eyes, but they was like, they would scream and like be able to get close to you. And then like when they was able to get close to you, they knew who you were, and they were gonna eat you alive or whatever. They had big mouths and large teeth or whatever, so they can able to get to you and whatever. So it's the same thing. Just because you can't just because, like, you got to think about it, not speaking is another form of a higher thought process, because you're not speaking. You on another wavelength, another higher form. So it's the same thing. So like when you see people typing, when you see people talking into their phone and getting information, instead of just typing it in, you're actually holding your thoughts in your mind. And instead of, because I know that people like, that's like almost like a lazier form. Like when you speaking into your phone to give you something, where you can just type it in with your hands, just like with what sign language, what I just said, same shit. So like if you typing it in instead of always talking it in, I'm like, I don't understand like why people. I never understood that people like, oh yeah, just say your name into it. Like, no, I ain't gonna do that, because on a third dimensional form, that's like me putting DNA into this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna leave no shit around for motherfuckers to get my shit anyway. But same thing. So why not just type it in instead of always speaking it in? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have a motherfucker, a phone give you information to speak back and forth to you. It's like you're not having you losing the experience, and you just into the whole technological situation of it. So it's almost like using your mind with your hands is like a hidden language. Everybody don't know what you're saying, so when you speak into your phone, they're like, oh, you look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather type my shit in, and my thoughts are still in my mind, and my thoughts are still flowing. You see what I'm saying? So not speaking, I'm only speaking to you so you can verbally understand or break down what I'm trying to tell you. So that's why I'm speaking into this phone, because everybody can't speak the same language. This is when you speak, somebody's gonna know what you're talking about, because you have a same language in the area you're in. Different countries have different languages. So when you speak in sign language, everybody don't know what you're saying. They be like, man, oh, they talking that sign language shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So same shit. When you're able to do that, slow down sometimes and be like, okay, just type it in instead of using your voice all the time, voice activated through Google or that Apple app or whatever. I don't have Apple, whatever. So anyway, but yeah, it's the same situation. So it's just all about how you look at it. All right. So let's just slow down sometimes and use our mind instead of always lowering ourselves. Peace.